these are essentially the headwaters of the Potomac River right here.
Totally had it in photo mode.
Oh.
Oops.
The best,
Okay.
you know, honestly, the best video spots are right up there.
Up there.
Yeah, you're trying to save battery life.
Oh, I have
Oh,
extras.
we have lots.
So if you look across the valley and you come up from that ridge to the top of the ridge, and you can see if you look over here, there's another ridge behind this one, and it runs almost as flat as that one. So if you look at where my hand is pointing, that is the second ridge back, so not the one you see, but the one that's hidden in the clouds, is Spruce Knob, which is the highest mountain in West Virginia. So it's just under 5,000 feet tall, and the state of West Virginia built a concrete observation tower at the top, so you can actually climb to the top of the tower. It's like 2 stories tall, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Is it just like buckle?
Yeah, it's just like a buckle.
Yeah, it's recording.
So I typically recommend people go up there, since you're all the way out here. It's like 20-minute drive to get to the top of Spruce Knob. There's a road to the top, and then it's like a quarter-mile trail at the summit. And it's really cool. I mean, it's literally a different ecosystem up there. It's all an old spruce forest. Worth the trip, although obviously it's pretty socked in right now. But if you have time, I don't know if you guys have anything else to do today, but if you're out here, there's the restaurant. The only restaurant in town is Gateway Restaurant. It's a good place to grab lunch, and then it's 15 minutes to the top of Spruce Knob from that restaurant. So you can kind of walk the trail. Maybe you'll get some views and then come back down. So in the dead of summer, I'll actually camp up there because it's about 8 degrees cooler than it is here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we're at like 2,500 feet here. This is just under 5,000 feet there. And I was up there one time and the place was full. Like parking lots were full, campgrounds were full. There's a couple campgrounds up there. And I was talking to this caretaker of one of the campgrounds, and he said that it was the Palisades meteor shower, and up there is the darkest place.
Yeah, I bet it's really
east
dark.
of the Mississippi. There's nothing. So this is essentially what you're looking at is the Monongahela National Forest. So from here all the way to Elkins, which Elkins is actually that way more so. Elkins is a pretty major populated area, but there's nothing. I mean, nobody lives up there. It's like it's wilderness, like true hardcore wilderness out there. But you can also see like what I was talking about with the weather, how it just kind of sits over there, builds, because it is, from that ridge sits at probably about 4,500 feet, so it is literally like containing weather, and it's a big updraft. You actually end up getting a lot of paragliders will launch from up there, and they'll take like a couple hour rides just on the thermals. Pretty neat. And you'll see them kind of come this way and then land in the valley there. All right, so up here is the notch, and you can kind of see it's a big V up there, and there's a good place for both of y'all to kind of sit and hang out. And I can grab some pictures of you up there if you want. We'll get going here. And this is the first of the 2 exit points, by the way. So it looks like everybody is doing really well.
Do a lot of people take them?
A lot of people do what?
Take the exits?
Not, but if you've gotten to this point, I think you're pretty good. And most people, if they're gonna decide not to do it, they'll decide down there when they look up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is like pretty stout. So not a lot of people, but every once in a while you get somebody. I had one couple here from Chicago, and they were in their like early 60s maybe, and they showed up in a Lincoln Town car and got out in like starched shorts and loafers, and the guy's like, I'm here to climb, and I'm like, do you have any other shoes? He's like, yeah, I got some other shoes. And he and his wife, they were like the 2 people you would never in a million years thought would ever come even outside, and they got to this point, and she decided that was enough, but it was pretty amazing when she got here. Like,
I mean, that's impressive all by its own.
It was pretty cool. I was like, wow, yeah. It shows you what a little mental fortitude will do. So this start can be a little bit tricky, just because there's not a lot of place to put your feet. So this is really all about climbing technique. So we do something we call friction climbing, which is basically just like putting the ball of your foot into the rock and pressing in, and then you're kind of pushing out with your hands and in with your foot, and that, even just putting your foot right there, just kind of allows you enough of a purchase to stand up. And people do this different ways, but that's probably the easiest way to do it. And you're kind of got a good handhold right here. See if you just kind of push in like so. So I'll show you another technique. It's kind of unique to a Via Ferrata. When you're at a spot where you want to make a transition, so you can, I call it an arm bar, but what you're going to do is bring your forearm up through the bottom of the rung. You just lean back into it. And that way you can make a transition or do what you have to do without like grabbing above you and pulling or using a lot of strength. So with climbing, you're really looking for 3 points of balance. So this is a good point of balance. And you could just use this technique. You'll use it on the head wall, definitely. But here's, some people end up using it here. What you don't want to do is this. Because if you fall, your arm is going to stay here while you head that way. So definitely come up through the bottom. And that'll keep you safe. So we're close now. Just give yourself some separation as you go vertical again.
Is the red light still on?
Mm-hmm. Is it supposed to be continuous now? Oh, it's not above. Never mind, it's not continuous. It's really good. I'm too short for this.
Would your mom do this?
Probably. It's too short.
Do the pressy thing.
I'm going to. I wasn't pretty past it. Just gonna sit right here.
There you go. Nice, nice step, man. Doesn't have to be graceful.
As long as it goes up.
That's right. Power move at the bottom there, huh, Josh?
I'm using my height.
Don't tell Molly that. She might drop a rock on you. So your GoPro is like completely.
Is it? Ah.
You just did that, man. So you're good.
Okay.
You'll come around, Mark, and then just sit right here. Yeah, right?
You can short for this.
No, you're perfect. You have more advantages than you know. Alright, so if you lean out, you can see the bridge over there.
Yeah.
And then, so we're going to the top of that next fin over there. So that's the east fin, and if you look, you might be able to actually see a section of cable at the very top of it. It's amazing how dry this is.
Is my red light still on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the faller of the group, though, so I don't have much trust in a lot.
So if y'all want, I can grab your phone and get pictures of you coming around this corner. Actually, I can get a picture of both of y'all. And you can see the,
Thank you.
Alright, on 3, 1, 2, 3. The infernal wide is on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Those will be good. There's only a few shots of my fingers.
That's fine.
It's okay. It happens.
Actually, I'll hold on to this and get a picture.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, so Josh, for you, you could lean out. You can see the bridge,
Yeah.
and then we're going to the top of the east fin. So you can. It gets washed out today, but typically, you know, in the sun, you can see the cable catching, glinting a little bit at the very top of that, so you can see where you're going to be. So it's about 300 vertical feet from the top down to the corridor here. But you know, this is pretty exposed. This is super exposed. All right, so this particular section right here, from where I am, if I'm grabbing the rung, I've got to lean out and I can see the rung for my feet, which is hidden around the corner. So there's a little bit of trust here that something is there. So you got to kind of just work with it this stretch for just probably a minute is pretty upper body intensive. So it's a lot of like holding and kind of shimmying to the right. So traversing is what we call it. But this is a little bit intense, but it just lasts for a second or two, and then we're on a series of ledges all the way to the bridge. So it's not too bad.
I think I'm just gonna sit right here.
Yeah, y'all can hang out as long as you want. Just give me hey, Molly, let me just hang out there for a few minutes, or like a minute or two, and let me get up to a spot where I can get some good pictures.
Okay.
And then I'll let you know when you can start climbing.
I'm gonna take advantage of this resting thing.
You want me to stand here for you and you can sit on the rock?
No, I have the resting thing. This is why I have the GoPro.
You can see the other thing really good over there.
The what?
The other thing that's up there. Okay. Oh, geez.
Well, you weren't kidding about it being upper body.
Yeah, it's just a little intense right there. Sweet. Action photos.
See, I'm too afraid to bring out my phone when I do anything like this, because I know I'll drop it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So like,
That's why I have Molly's phone.
that's exactly.
I'm okay with Molly's phone, bro.
You know what? He
My
speaks the
phone's paid
truth.
off this month now. So it's fine.
I want to know what Bad Madden carried all this wood up here.
We haul it up. So we'll throw a rope over the side, haul it up from the road, which is right down there. So it's a lot easier. And we build systems like mechanical advantage systems. So we'll build a 9-to-1 system, so we're not really hauling that.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that would make it easier.
It's still not easy, but it's not as hard as people think.
Pack muling this up would sounds terrible.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool. We have these little tiger slugs everywhere. You touch something wet and slimy. Slug.
I saw one down there.
Yeah. There are a bunch up here. He's got his own little ecosystem on the side of it.
Oh, they are everywhere if you really start looking.
Well, it's a good thing it's a good thing it's not spiders.
So this is a blueberry bush. So the blueberries, as they come ripe, we just eat them. So they're not in season just yet. But these blueberries that grow here are different than store-bought blueberries. They're a little bit more tart. But supposedly, we had this guy out here one time. He's like some big agricultural wizard, and he was saying that these are actually prized blueberries because of that tartness. He could have just been making that up. You know, I'll take your word for it.
Well, I mean, if they taste good, they taste good.
You don't have to bring as many snacks when they're blooming, though.
Blueberries and tiger slugs, and
You're all good to go.
you got a lunch.
Oh. I was admiring the view and everybody left me behind.
Oh, sorry. You need to admire the view some more?
No, I'm okay.
I'm admiring this rock below me.
What do you mean?
It's a good rock.
So just to update you real quick on the weather, I called down and got a forecast. So around 11 o'clock, which is 20 minutes or so, we're supposed to get a little bit of a spit of rain. It'll last like 15, 20 minutes, and then as long as we should be able to do this easily. Up on the head wall by 1. 1 is when all hell breaks loose.
I'm glad you took the early one then.
Yep.
We had to get up at like 5:30, but
This is another spot where people historically come unattached from the cable because it's like spaghetti up here. There's so many cables going every which way. But just always be mindful, stay attached to a cable, even when you're just hanging out. And definitely time to grab a quick snack, and then we'll head across the bridge here. So what do y'all think so far? Pretty awesome, huh?
uh-huh. We did the New River Gorge Bridge walk yesterday.
Oh, did you really?
Walk under the bridge. That was neat.
Yeah, that's a beautiful bridge.
It's big.
And they have a big, you may have heard of it, the Bridge Day Festival every year.
You know, again, I don't have a problem with heights, but base jumping, I would love to try it, but at the same time, you ain't got a lot of room for error.
I'll pass on that.
You want a granola bar?
No, I have cranberries.
This is probably the best spot to use the bathroom. Go up there and do it. For the ladies, for the guys, you know, it's easier.
I'm an ER nurse, so I have a steel bladder.
There you go. Yeah.
The last night I worked, I don't think I had a pee break till like 4 o'clock at night, and I only had 3 hours or 4
Are you in a
nights.
trauma center? What kind of?
I'm working in Bloomington right now. At their trauma center.
What level trauma center?
A 3. So I think the ER closed because I'm traveling right now because we're trying to build a house.
Oh, wow.
And the ER closest to us, I think South Bend's a level 2 or level 1.
Yeah, I live outside of Charlotte. So with level 1. All the stuff that happens in West Virginia, this part of West Virginia, goes there.
Yeah, I have a friend who works in Tucson, Arizona, on their surgical trauma ICU, and they're a level 1.
Is it Clara?
Yeah.
It's crazy though. They volunteer with our rescue squad. So it's pretty rural where I live. Unfortunately, people just abuse the whole system. They just go to the ED, fix some air conditioning, watch TV. I mean, it's insane. And we got all these 911. We used to have this guy called 911 once a week for chest pain. Because he knows what to say. He's like, chest pain.
It's a whole 2-3 hour workout thing.
Yeah, it's like you gotta treat it like you have chest pain. It's like, so what's your pain level on a scale of 1 to 10? He's like, no, like if it was a 10, you'd probably be wincing or something. It's like, no, it's okay. I need to.
Yeah. My mom is an ER nurse too, and she accidentally amputated 2 of her fingers. Trying to do her, she was going to save money and do her force herself.
Oh.
Didn't really save money though.
Yeah, she drove herself to the hospital. And even then, she's like, it's a still, maybe a 7. I'm like, Mom, this is when you're allowed to save for 10.
Yeah, no kidding. Get some meds, don't worry. You deserve it for the 2 things. There's just one, maybe.
Oh, she's a recovering alcoholic, so she actually asked them if they block her fingers instead of giving her painkillers. She never had a prescription with narcotics. She just worried.
Yeah. That's a legitimate concern. So how far away are you building? Like, where are you building your house? If you're in Bloomington.
So Bloomington's southern Indiana.
Yeah. And then you guys are north or something?
Yeah, it's 3.5 hours away from our apartment right now.
I'll probably nurse the bridge. You can lay down on the bridge. You can whatever on the bridge within reason, as long as you stay attached to the cable. Now, that's the cable that you want to attach yourself to is this one right here. There is an anchor point. Located here, you'll have to get around. And then you just let your lanyards come with you for the ride, so you'll actually be holding on to these 2 cables here. You never want to go first because there's lots of spider webs out there usually. So I'll
put
go
this
first
on?
and clear those out.
Put this on.
The easiest way to walk the bridge is to walk it in the center of the plank.
Okay.
If you start to go side to side, the bridge is going to go side to side. I mean, it's got a
It's on.
significant amount of sway to it. You guys are welcome, like I said, to go together or go separately or do whatever. What I would encourage both of you to do is to stop halfway
Oh, I plan on it.
and take a minute or 2 or however long you want to soak it in. And I'll get on the other side and I'll get pictures of you coming across, both of you, and then videos or whatever else. So let me get across and then you all can. If you're really feeling bold, you can try to go no hands. That's I personally cannot do it, but we have a couple guides that can actually go all the way across.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
But they're young. I'm too old for that.
See, to me that sounds like a challenge. I'm gonna try. I don't know if I can.
He's just like, let's go. Let's go. Across the bridge. You want to go first across the
No, I want to go last.
Why?
Cause I want to see you struggles. The light's on, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of looking down though. There you go.
Doing 4K doesn't actually, or 4K takes a lot of power. The 2K does not.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
What?
no. Oh no. Oh, it squeezed. It screeches.
Yeah, no hands did not happen. What? Yeah. My foot got stuck back there.
Make sure you look back and check out how paper thin that rock is. Pretty cool.
Huh. I thought it was a tree.
That's amazing, isn't it?
No, it's a big rock.
I know. It looks like a tree from this angle if you just glance. You know, I haven't seen a single one of those slugs you were talking about.
They're all over.
Yeah, I didn't see a single one.
The slugs,
Yeah, I didn't see a single one.
they're really well camouflaged.
Doing a great job then.
Dirt.
There's one right here. Here. I'm gonna put these two little red things by them.
I was about to say you dropping on me. We're gonna fight. Oh, those. Damn, how did I miss all those?
Josh stumbles.
What happened?
He said we're being very safe, and then you stumbled.
Oh, this is what the cable's for.
All right, so we're at the head wall, and just to remind everybody, this is an optional part of the climb. So if you're kind of feeling like you have to run it, this may not be the thing for you to do. But I think both of you, from what I've seen, this would be easily conquered.
We didn't come all this way to not go all the way.
So the key thing is for you all is that you can leave your packs here, so you don't have to drag those up to the top, because we're going to go up here and then down on this side. So you can, if you do want to leave it, you can certainly bring them with you if you want. But if you want to leave them, just leave them over here so you can grab them on the way down.
I'll just bring it. It's not that heavy.
So we're going to go up this thing fairly quickly, just so we can try to beat the rain before it comes.
Okay.
One thing to know is if you would like to start with a kind of a top rope belay, I can put you on a top rope belay for this section. If you look up, it is overhanging, so it does kick out quite a bit. And it's, from what I've seen for both of you, you can do this. If you want an additional kind of comfort measure, this will drop from the sky for you. I can put it on before you start climbing, or if I see that you're in a spot of bother, or I think you're in a spot of bother, I'm going to drop it to you. So what I want you to do is go ahead, if you look down to where your lanyards connect to your harness, and there's that kind of piece of webbing, we call it. Mine is a little more rigid than yours, but all you're going to do is take this carabiner, the gate's going to be open like so, and just drop it right in there. Then, if you're comfortable, you can screw the gate closed, but mostly I'm concerned about you getting this on your harness very quickly, because again, you're in a spot of bother. And so what'll happen is I'll have a belay device up top, which is kind of, think of it like a brake. So you'll be on like a pulley system at that point. So I'll tension it, and you'll feel this like, it'll feel nice and comfortable for you. You feel like you're not going to go anywhere. You'll still have to do everything. I'm not going to pull you up. You know, you're still going to have to climb. You're still going to have to work. You're still going to stay attached to the cable. The only thing this does is it prevents you, if you did fall, you would follow the stretch of this rope, which is not very much, and that's it. So if you want it, just let me know. I'll drop it to you. If not, you can climb without it. It doesn't matter to me. But again, if I do determine that you need it, it's coming to you. And just drop it on. Don't forget that arm bar technique. You're probably going to use it. Maybe.
Oh, I already used it back there.
Yeah, maybe. A lot of people don't use it on the way up, but on the way down, you'll definitely use it, because the way down, I think, is a little bit more challenging, not from a strength perspective, but just from a more
Not
of a
fall,
balance
yeah.
perspective. Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to go down, but
Well, no, it's not.
the way the rungs are set up, they're close together, so it does become a little bit awkward, I think is probably the right word. So unlike what we've done to this point, just wait for me to tell you to go. I'm going to get all the way to the top first. And then I'll tell Molly you to go, and then Josh you to go. But again, you can leave your packs here, whatever you want to do. But definitely kind of watch each other as you climb. You might learn a thing or two about how to conquer this thing. But it's a lot of fun. You'll enjoy it. All right, so I'm going to head up.
My light's still on.
And hopefully we can beat this weather. This is another section of the climb where taking your time is actually a good thing. So there's a ton of places for your feet and hands. You just kind of got to look for it.
So hurry, but take your time.
Yes.
Hurry slowly.
Hurry, yeah, exactly.
Oh, I was thinking it was like jutting out a whole lot.
What?
Up there. It's just a little mosquito bite.
I'm sure it's gonna feel like a little more than that.
I should probably fix these while I'm here. What are you doing?
I'm sitting. What?
Don't fall backwards, please.
Basically, this way. It'll just be a little whack if I hit my head.
I feel more safe doing this than I do Angel's Landing. Mostly because this isn't filled with people. Good thing the GoPro's durable.
Why?
Because I've wonked it like 3 times. Tree.
Okay, Molly. Okay, Josh. Good job, Josh.
I'm trying.
In the midst of looming storm. Excellent.
That's what Josh Brothers brings.
That's exactly right. Hey, Genesee, we are on top of the head wall. Alright, nice work. So let me just connect this.
No, that's fine. Take your time.
Get out of your way. Alright, so you just go behind me. You should check out some of those pictures that I got for you there.
I assume this is where we go down.
Yeah, we're gonna go down right there. You have to hang out with Molly.
Let's do this. It's a nice sit. greatly welcomed.
Let me wait till we're on the ground for that to be welcomed.
One does not look like they're having a good time. Grab my water bottle. Thank you.
You guys want some pictures from up there?
What?
You want some pictures of the two of you up there?
Sure.
Here, I will end it.
There.
Oh, you're coming up here,
Yeah, I'm able to get some shots looking back this way.
Oh, okay.
So let's see.
Well, you take your foot off of this cable, and Josh, if you can back, I'll flip this around. Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I see
that'll-
where the word.
It'll put me over here. Well, I just don't have attached from the cable.
We'll go back.
All right.
Can you reach it? Thank you.
Okay, Mom. Got it.
It's a good set.
Guys, I'm gonna do a bunch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. These are really cool because the clouds are all like pretty neat. Let's see this. Alright, we may have to do. Let's do those over because. Alright, let's do those over. You're like all blurry because there was something on it. Alright, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we got a good turkey vulture in the background on that one. 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Ah, that's cool. Alright, take a look at those, Molly.
Thank you.
And if you want me to take more, I'll take more.
That's more than enough. Thank you so much. Oh wow.
They really
They're
do look
awesome.
cool because they're kind of shooting down the valley.
Thank you so much.
So we have this group come out here, and it's immersive psychotherapy. And a lot of the folks in the group will have fears of heights that are so bad they don't go above the first floor. Like, that's a little bit of what they'll So they don't know they're coming here. They show up, they get to the bridge, the guy blindfolds them.
Oh
to
my
walk
gosh.
across the bridge. So they see the bridge and then he puts blindfolds on them. But it's like a therapy session. So they're like, they hang out there for like an hour of therapy and then they cross the bridge. But then they get up here and we're gonna like down climb. They rappel down. So that's how we know it's 300 vertical feet exactly, because that's how long our rope is. So it is literally like a straight shot, 300 vertical feet down to the ground. And it seems like you're a lot higher.
I mean, I guess that's part of it. It does look quite a bit higher than 300.
Yeah, no, it really does.
The sheer walls helps with that.
Yeah. And this is kind of cool because it's like I mentioned before, it's scooped out. So when you rappel off of here, like this first maybe 20 meters is on the side of a cliff, but then you're hanging in space. It's just like falling. It's really neat. Yeah, this weather. Y'all are so lucky. Oh my God. I was looking at the weather yesterday. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a really wet one.
How much does it take for you guys to cancel?
We won't. It's just rain. We don't,
I respect that.
it's the lightning that's
Yeah.
really worrisome. No, but we do snow and ice and rain.
I've seen there's nighttime ones.
The nighttime ones are really cool. Like but you have to do it during the day before you come at night. But the night is so epic. I mean, everything changes and the light. So on a full moon, if it's even if it's not clear, but when it's clear, the light bounces off of this rock. I mean, it's like a giant mirror, and it is so bright in here. You're just like, I mean, you can't hardly believe that that's natural. But it is really fun. Yeah, we just like start those depending on the time of year, 9 o'clock. Back by midnight or 1. So these families have been here working these farms forever. And you see that barn in the pasture right there? Just to the right of that is a kind of a stand of this first stand of trees you come to. There's like 4 or 5 cow. You can see cattle up there. There's a cemetery up there, and this is several years ago. There was a 14-month-old that passed away, lived down the road a bit. But the whole community turned out and she's buried in there at that cemetery. But the whole side of that hill was people.
Wow.
And they were like shuttling some of the older folks up on 4-wheelers and mules and stuff. It was pretty amazing, that sense of community. Yeah, you don't see that very much. Those are some fit cattle. Walking this down.
I didn't think about that. But...
Very lean cattle.
Yeah. They range them up there, so I'm surprised that they're up there already. So what they do is they'll be down here during the winter, and then they'll start moving them up there during the summer. It's a little cooler. So they don't spend all their time walking around. Just the hotter ones. It is beautiful though. Get ready for y'all to come down. Coming behind you there, Josh. All right, so when you're down climbing, this would hold true also at Old Rag. You never want to face that way when you're down climbing. You always want to face the rock. So that's what tends to get people in trouble, because they're facing the wrong way, and then they come off balance just a little bit, and that'll cause you to barn door completely off. So you always want to face the rock.
This would be fun to do with Tom.
With Tom?
Yes.
Do you think Tom would like it?
I don't know.
Bonk.
You've never heard the joke of what two turtles sound like fucking.
Okay, so Josh, from there, you're going to want to put one of your carabiners on the rung that's right by your right ankle, and then the other one on the cable. Right, and then staying in that same position, you're going to kind of back towards me, and then you're going to lean over and look. The rungs are up really, really high. So what you're going to want to do is both feet on this rung, and then you'll transition over to the rungs on the right side, okay? So just like that. You're down in 5, 4, 3. You're close, and you're on it. So bring that left foot in the same rung. So you're gonna shift that right foot over a little bit. And then take a big step to the right and down. There you go. Okay, so unlike when we're climbing up, Molly and Josh, you're just going to push those below you because you want to get the carabiners close to the anchor point below you. Okay, Josh, one more thing before you start going. You got to really control your leg swing because what will happen is you bring your legs in too quickly, you're going to impact the rung with your shin.
Yeah, sounds painful.
You'll do that one time and then you'll never do it again. So try to avoid the one time. You'll keep going down 2 more rungs, Josh.
Yep.
Start to go right. Okay, so now you're going to end up with both feet on this rung right here. So you're going to back up that right foot over. Hey Josh,
Yeah.
when you get down to that pine tree, there's a huge ledge where that pine tree is.
Yeah.
So go all the way there and then wait for us.
Okay.
Josh, you'll wait right down there.
Okay.
right, nice work, both of you. Nicely done. The head wall's hard, you know. I mean, it's just it's mentally a bit challenging, physically a little bit. All right,
Down's
so,
a different feeling.
So from this point forward, we have a series of. We're probably about like 15 minutes away from being done.
Okay.
So it's a series of ledges, much like what we're on right now. So what you really have to guard against is complacency, because you've done the head wall, which is the hardest part, the hardest thing we're going to do today. There are 2 short vertical sections, but you really just want to kind of rekindle that. Hey, you guys have been safe to this point. Stay safe from this point forward. So again, 2 short vertical sections. One is a little tricky, but we can kind of talk through how we get by it. But other than that, Josh, you can lead the way. I'm gonna lag behind for a few minutes and use the men's tree, and then I will catch up. ago.
I think they are.
About 3 weeks behind.
I know, it's fine.
Do I?
I slipped really good.
Oh. That's why I know where you slipped. That's why I didn't step on that.
What?
That's why I didn't step on that spot.
I had one group here in this one of the climbers decided she was going to go no further. She stopped about where you are, Josh, and everybody just left her. Like the whole group.
What?
Oh,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
there's not a whole lot you can do about that.
I can't believe they just abandoned you. Nobody was there to give her encouragement or anything. They just left her.